suspension for the fork. So what kind of suspension we have right here?
The dual
The
trailing. Trailing.
So you're right. That is trailing. If you say trailing, you're right because you have the spring. It's in the front of the fork. Here is the fork. That is the main piece of the fork. It's right there. Here is the hinge, and this one they call it link. If you have the front strut or the spring in the front of the fork, they call it trailing. If you have the fork behind, sorry, if you have the spring behind the fork, they call it leading.
What does the trailing link suspension look like?
How do they look like?
And it's the opposite, to tell you the truth. I always thought if the suspension is in front of the link or in front of the forks, it's called leading. I just want to.
Let's go back to that.
I think it's the wherever the fork is what defines it. So that's how I imagine it. So if the fork is in the back, it's trailing in the back, and if the fork is in the front, it's leading. So that's how I remembered it.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I said that. I said that, right? Look, this one here. Here is the fork. If the fork in front of the spring, they call it leading because the fork is leading the suspension. If you go to this picture right here, this one is leading as well because you have the fork in front and you have the spring in the back. There's good different. How about this one? So this one is the opposite. So here is the frame. Just Emil, follow me. Here is the frame up there. That's the frame. And here is the main pivot, and that is the link. And now we have the strut in front of the fork. So this one they call it trailing suspension. Different designs. So somebody asked me why we have a spring in front, why we have a spring in the back. Different designs, different ideas by different people. You may like it, you may dislike it. So different things that on the market that you may see it. You may like it. Maybe you like the way it looks, right? It may have different suspension, may different feeling when you got that bike. I mean, people are different. They have different way of feeling things. Again, remember, Ernie, how's your project doing?
It's still coming along. The guy didn't finish he just finished putting that front end on there yet. So you still have to you have to cut the frame.
So it's gonna be longer than this one. How long is the fork?
It's 40 and over.
4 feet?
40 and over.
Oh, 40.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's the same. It's by the same person who make Sugar Bear that made this front end. It's just wrong.
Yeah. I'm sure you're gonna have different experience when that won't be twice.
Professor, what kind of, I mean, is this leading or trailing fork? I mean, because the fork is way up here. I mean, the suspension,
Okay.
like underneath the headlight.
The
Yeah.
springs are in the front, so it's trailing.
So this one is trailing because the fork right here. Just follow me.
Got you. Yeah.
Yeah, that is a fork.
So
And
that's a bit
then-
of a tricky one because it's way up there.
And then the spring, instead of putting the spring down here, they put the spring up there with the link. Yeah, and then you have another link right here. So this
Is
one
there a difference if she puts the suspension near the wheel instead of underneath the handlebar?
different designs, I think.
Oh.
Different designs. Sometimes the designer wants he can put the spring down here,
Right.
but but because you have the head right here, so probably put him in one spot.
Yeah.
Probably looks better like this one.
Yeah, actually does, yeah.
So
Thank you.
no problem. So if you see the spring behind the frame, guys, so this one is leading because the frame is leading suspension. You may have different feeling than this one. You may have different feeling. Remember, companies have to change the design so they can market the bike. They're not gonna stick to one design and say, oh, this is the best one. You cannot do that. They have to have different designs so they can satisfy different customers. You may have the same bike like this one. You may have the same one, but the spring in the back. So the strut in the back.
Well, this is
Uh,
thing, right?
Yeah. So again, so this is off-road, right? And you may have different feeling with this one, different than the telescopic one. So remember, we have three. We have leading, trailing, and telescopic one. Telescopic one is the one with the fork seals that most bikes have. Let's go to that. And then this one. So go back to this picture, guys. That is, remember, trailing because you have the spring in front of the fork. Here is the fork. That is the main piece of it. Again, guys, if you ride one of this bike, it's not fun unless you like the look and then you want uh, so you want people to talk about your bike and have this bike. But if it's fun or not, it's not fun. Because why? Because with the fork, guys, look here, the fork. When you have the hinge right here in the axle, it's better than having this mechanism. How about your suspension? Can you check tire pressures? Yes. So with the bike on the shop, check front and rear tires. Remember, guys, every bike has what's called tire label. That is a federal code. You have to have a tire label on the bike, and that label is attached to the frame, and that label says how much pressure you have for the front, how much you have pressure for the back, and some labels tell you
Check
the
labels
pressure
on
if
the
you are
tire
single
sidewalls.
person or two persons on the bike. Can give you different pressures for different number of people on the bike. Check tire for cuts and sidewall cracks, so inspection is very important. Check wheel bearings for